Hey everybody. So I'm just, I guess, recording today for the first time in quite some time. So I took a little bit of a break because as many of you know, I just had a baby, and Miss Sage was born on the 10th of September, so she will be a month tomorrow. She'll be 4 weeks old tomorrow. And so I've been just kind of trying to enjoy her and my family and just take some time off of pretty much everything and spend time with her, take care of her, and just focus on enjoying her while she's so young and, you know, this and that. And so I've taken a break from that. But tonight I am actually recording to talk a little bit about my journey through the whole breastfeeding her and what came about from that. Look at this little one here. What are you doing, baby? And as you can hear, Sage is crying, but she's in good hands right now, so I have a little bit of time to talk to you guys really quickly about that. I was breastfeeding her for you know, since the day that she was born up until last Friday, or the Friday before last. No, last Friday. 1, 2, 3. Last Friday. No. What is today's date? I can't keep up. See, this is what happens when you get cabin fever and you're in the house and you're just taking care of a little one, and you know, you kind of lose sight of the days and times and all that. So today is Sunday. So yeah, last Friday I found out that I actually had developed, or she had developed, thrush. And she had thrush. I ended up getting thrush and a breast infection. So I now have, or had, I might have some remnants of it still. I'm not sure how well that antibiotic did, but I have an appointment this week coming, so we'll find out. But I ended up developing thrush and mastitis. So my goal of breastfeeding her for a year is now out the window. I had to stop breastfeeding her. I was in so much pain, and I was in pain I've been in pain every day pretty much since she was born. Like, you know, just your normal recovery from birth, and then, you know, feeling better from that, but then developing the mastitis. I mean, people kind of often ask, like, and I was talking to a friend of mine about this the other day, because come to find out, she had mastitis with one of her children. And we were just like kind of laughing about it, because unless you've had mastitis, like you kind of just don't get it. So we and her were kind of just talking about it, and she was saying, you know, you don't know that people will ask her all the time, well, how do I know if I have mastitis, you know? And her answer was, well, if you're not screaming into a pillow every time your child latches on, then I'm pretty sure you don't have mastitis. And I was just like, wow, I'm so glad somebody can kind of like relate and understand a little bit about what mastitis is and like what comes with it, because it really is a painful thing. I just don't wish on anybody, like, I just don't wish it on anybody. I'm so disappointed. My breasts are still, and my nipples are still like recovering. They're still kind of like raw, and it just makes me cringe just the thought of it. But the antibiotics have made me feel a lot better, and I pretty much had to dry out my breast milk. So I ended up doing that. I'm no longer breastfeeding. I know, I'm really disappointed. I was just really expecting to just be really successful with it, especially since, you know, I was so successful with Matthias, my son. And I guess that just isn't the case this time. And I hear stories, and I was just doing my own research online and stuff, and people are, oh, you can still breastfeed with mastitis, and you can still breastfeed. And I'm just like, oh, that sounds so encouraging. It sounds so good. Like, and that's really what I tried to do. But I think with the thrush and the mastitis together, that's just a terrible combination. And if I'm continuing to breastfeed with her, I'm thinking in my mind that all we're doing is sharing it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Even though they have her on some kind of an antibiotic right now. It starts with an N. And she still has it in her mouth, but it's clearing up. I think it's called Nystin. Yeah, I think that's what it is. They had her on that, and she's still on it, and she's gonna finish that until it's all clear. Like, she's finishing that bottle. You know, sometimes you'll take an antibiotic and you feel better and everything's cleared up and you'll stop taking it because, oh, I'm fine now. No, she's gonna finish that. I want to make sure she's a-okay. So we ended up she's actually on her third milk, her third formula. Since I can't breastfeed her anymore, I kind of I wasn't pumping, actually, which was another story. It's really disappointing because I pumped and I had saved so much milk and I froze it. So I ended up having to throw it away because they said something like online, from what I read, you can't thaw that out and give it to her because it's still infected. So I ended up throwing that away. So I hope I didn't throw that away for nothing, because I feel like if I would have boiled it, maybe that might have killed the germs, or the mastitis, or the thrush rather. I feel like if I would have boiled it, that might have worked, but I mean, I guess it's too late to think about that now. And I'm not sure if that actually is the case. So I ended up having to throw away a lot of my milk, and I was just so frustrated. I cried about it. I'm all cried out now. I was very disappointed. I was trying to rough it out for her, but it's just, thrush and mastitis, like I said, is not something I wish on anybody. It's just a terrible combination. It's very painful. But with that being said, so yeah, we've been doing a lot of like trial and error with formula for her. So we started off, and many of you guys know I don't really like cow's milk. I don't think that that's something that humans should be drinking because we're not cows. But we started off with the soy milk, which is soy formula, which I feel like is what I gave that to my daughters, my two oldest daughters, when I gave them formula. I gave them the Enfamil Pro Sobe or Similac Pro Sobe, one of the two. It's just the soy based milk. It's not the milk based, and that worked really well for them. But with this one, Sage is just, I don't know. She's a handful already. It didn't seem to be working very well with her digestive system. It was like constipating her. And I just was trying to, I guess, assist her in her bowel movements and stuff. But that actually didn't help out. Or it did help. I was assisting her by using like the suppositories, but I wasn't sticking them up all the way. I was just kind of like doing it just a little bit in there, and it would help her. But I feel like if I continue to do that, her body will become like used to that, and her body will think that she needs that in order to go to the bathroom every time, like to have a bowel movement. And I just don't want her body or her to become dependent on that in order to have a regular bowel movement. So she started getting kind of fussy, and we felt like she was colicky, so we changed that milk. We tried that for like a week. So we switched her from that. Well, no, we tried that for about 2 weeks. We switched her from that. I just got tired of her whining and like her, like, well, I guess I can't say whine. Well, I don't want to say whining like it's a bad thing, but she was whining. She was crying and just in pain. And as a mom, like, you don't want to see your baby in pain, especially when they're so young. They can't tell you what's wrong. So I just got tired of that. Like, I'm not trying to see my infant, my newborn baby, like in pain and like having gas and just being constipated and not being able to go to the bathroom. So we switched her from that to, I tried a milk-based one, and that didn't seem to do any better. And I don't know if that's just because I'm cringing every time she's sucking on that bottle, because I'm like, ew, cow's milk. But that didn't really do much better. It kind of made her gassy. So we only tried that for like a week or so. For one can, we did 1 can of that, and that just, nah, I wasn't about that. And her body didn't seem to really like it either. She seemed like she was getting reflux from it, just spitting up all the time. So we just took her off of that one, and now she's on the Almentum one, which is like the purple formula. And I don't think that's cow's milk based, but it does have some kind of like milk protein in it, but I don't think it's like milk based. I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. From what I read, it helps, whatever it is, it helps her body to break down the milk better, or the proteins, or so she's able to kind of like use the restroom more. And you know, I like it so far, so good. When we burp her, they come right on up, the burps. And so she's on her second can of that now, and she's doing really well with that. And she's actually using the bathroom on her own, and she seems to be very regular. So that's we're in a good place, I think, right now. And so we're going to continue to use that until further notice. And me and her both have appointments coming up this week, so we're going to get an update on that. I'm going to discuss her milk and her meals and stuff with the doctor. Or not her meals, but her, you know, what she's drinking with the doctor, because the doctor knew, you know, she's well aware of the fact that we've been trying different ones. So she just probably will want an update on that. So, but like I said, the Alimentum's working really well. And I'm disappointed that I wasn't able to breastfeed my baby. That definitely was a goal of mine. I was able to do my son for about like 5 or 6 months. And my goal was to exceed that this time, and really, really do a good job of it, and at least get her to a year. But unfortunately, that's just not in the cards for us. So, but as long as my baby is eating, and if she's fed and she's happy, then that's all I can ask for. And she seems to be doing really well right now with the milk that she's on. So, you know, I never would want to make mothers who are breastfeeding or bottle feeding rather feel bad. Like sometimes I notice there's this like stigma with, oh, I breastfeed my son. Oh, like the breastfeeding moms feel like, I don't want to say they're so much better than the moms who bottle feed with formula, but it's kind of like, and I get it, breastfeeding is wonderful. I was so happy to be able to breastfeed my son, and like I said, this time I was like so like determined to do it and do it well, and just but you know, I think sometimes there is this, people frown like upon mothers who bottle feed. Like I felt like when I talked to my doctor about the mastitis and stuff, and the thrush, she was just like, oh, so were you breastfeeding? Have you been breastfeeding? And I told her, yeah, but you know, I've stopped. And she kind of made this face at me, and I was like, I'm well aware of the fact that, you know, I can still breastfeed or at least pump, but can you see the raw redness of my nipples and the bleeding and the cracks and the peeling of my areolas? Like, can you see that? Because if you can, the fact that I'm like crying and in pain every time she latches, then you wouldn't be making that face right now, you know? So I think that breastfeeding mothers, you know, I think breastfeeding is a beautiful thing, but I think sometimes, I think we definitely need to all be more supportive. Mothers in general need to be more supportive of each other, and each other's decisions, whether or not we would decide to bottle feed or breastfeed. And that's something that I kind of want to promote. Breastfeeding is beautiful. It's promoted. It's definitely pushed. But you know what? Bottle feeding, as long as your baby is fed and healthy and eating, like, you do what you have to do. I do think that everyone should at least try to breastfeed, because it really does make your life a lot easier. I really think breastfeeding is a lot easier than bottle feeding, and it's healthier, of course, for the baby. But if it's not something that's in the cards for you, it's just not. And unfortunately, it just wasn't for me. And I would hope that nobody would judge me for that. And if they do, then, you know, to each their own. You know, it is what it is. I just have to let it roll off my back like I do everything else. You know, people are going to talk, let them talk. So that's just an update on everything now. Sage is growing so beautifully. And she is, when she was born, she was 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Now she is like 9'4". So, excuse me, she's doing a really, really good job. And everybody keeps saying, oh, she's moving out of the way. Moving out of the way for the next one. And I'm looking at them like they're crazy. Like, oh, are you going to be the surrogate? Because I'm not having any more babies. There's no more buns coming out of this oven. So, you tried it. Not gonna happen. But maybe she's moving out of the way for like a dog or something, or a pet. Because I'm not having any more. So but that's for another video, because my fiance actually went and talked to someone about a vasectomy. So he went to the first like initial appointment about that, I guess, where they like just discuss it, the preliminary appointment. where they just discuss everything, and he gets information. And so he hasn't gone to the second appointment yet, but I'm very, happy that he at least is considering it, and he found out some information. And so I feel like I'm going to actually go and speak to my doctor about getting my tubes tied as well, at least getting more information just to show that I'm going to do my part too, and then we'll just make a decision together based off of that and what we're going to do. But I think the vasectomy is a good idea. I think I've done enough. I've been through enough, darn it. Your turn. But again, I want to be fair, so I'm going to go and do my little info preliminary appointment too. So but all the kids are doing really well, and Matthias has done great. I'm like really, really excited and happy about that, but kind of sad too because he's not a baby anymore. He kind of just grew up overnight when she was born. It's weird. It's like he's not the same, my same little boy that he was before. He's like, I guess compared to her being so small, it's like, whoa, like you have a really big head all of a sudden and a big face, and and you're like talking better all of a sudden, and you're just being a big boy, like very helpful. He's always been very helpful, but he's just not my little baby anymore. So that's something else that I'm dealing with, and it just seems like it kind of happened overnight. So, but he's the sweetest. He's been so good with her. She was crying the other day, and we were all having dinner, and next thing I know, he gets up and he just walks over and puts her pacifier in her mouth, and he touches her belly. Okay, baby, okay. He'll say stuff like that, or it's okay, it's okay. Why are you crying? Like asking her why she's crying, and I just think it's the sweetest thing. He's so awesome. So I'm so blessed. Like I want to say that. Like I'm gonna end the video with that. I'm so blessed. I don't even know what I've done to deserve what I have. I mean, like I've said before in videos, like we're not a rich people, but gosh, we are so blessed. I don't know, like God saw me fit to have 4 babies and them to be healthy and smart and beautiful, and just us to be able to keep it together as a family. And with people, naysayers, people have said things about our relationship, and when we first started dating and stuff like that, but darn it, like we are doing very well, and we're happy, and we're simple people. We're homebodies. Family is very important to us. We don't need a lot. And we seem to have everything. We seem to have everything. Like really, we are blessed to have a roof over our head. We have 2 great jobs, and that I actually go back to soon, in another week. So I'll be going back to work for maternity leave, but we're just so blessed, and I couldn't have asked for more. God has really done so amazingly for us, and beyond what we deserve, beyond measure, in my opinion. Seriously, beyond measure. So I hope everybody out there is doing good. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update because I know I haven't posted anything in like forever, but like I said, I was just trying to enjoy the family and Sage, and now that she and I are feeling a bit better, I think I'm going to try to get back to doing these videos. And they might not be every week, but we're going to just do little updates here and there. And I might do some like tutorial videos and stuff on, like, I'm actually about to do my daughter's hair. So I'm doing some crochet braids and just some other things. So I might do like little tutorial videos here and there. I don't know, we just like fun stuff. So making memories is very important for us. Things that the kids can kind of look back on, as they get older, and so it's fun. Hopefully you guys don't mind. And if you do mind, sorry for you. We're not going to stop. So thank you guys for everybody being so nice, and asking me how Sage is, and, just saying really nice things about her, and all your comments are just really appreciated. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it. I feel like I'm leaving a lot of stuff out, but I'll be talking to you guys again soon. So, you guys be blessed and appreciate everything that you have, and appreciate the people that are in your life, because we're not always going to be here. And here today, gone tomorrow. You never know. So I just love you all. I hope everybody does really well. I wish the best for everyone. And everybody out there, just keep grinding. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.